Let's go to our senior Pentagon reporter, Louis Martinez, for more. Louis, so what are officials saying about their capability to get people out?
Terry, they say they have the aircraft within the Middle East region to be able to get them flying into Kabul if they need to get 5,000 to 9,000 people out a day. But according to the Pentagon's latest figures that we heard this morning, they're talking about an additional 2,000 that were taken out last night on board 12 aircraft that had flown into Kabul. So what they're looking for, as you said, is the demand. Can they fill up those aircraft? When I asked Pentagon spokesman John Kirby earlier today about whether they could expect to see higher numbers of people approaching the gates that are being manned by the United States, he said that is the hope, because they have manned another gate that grants access to the airport, and they have surged additional consular officials to those gates so that they can greet the people and bring them on inside to validate their documents. I think the State Department has just said that there are about 6,000 people currently at the airport in Kabul that would be ready to board airplanes. So if that's a much higher number than we've seen already over the last 2 days. As the military has slowly built up from 2,000 a day, potentially we could see even more tomorrow. But the capability, the questions are, can these Afghan visa applicants, can they get through? Because they're the ones that are in greatest danger. They say that there is a deal with the Taliban that they will ensure the safe passage of Americans. It doesn't appear that that applies to Afghans. So the question is, what can be done to help them get through the security barriers?
A very tough question. Louis, let me ask you, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin yesterday said that the United States doesn't have the capability to get into Kabul to get people out. There are scattered reports of British special forces, maybe French special forces, going into the city and bringing people out, and that triggers the question among people who've seen that, well, if they can do it, why can't we? What do you make of that?
That is the capability that they brought inside to Afghanistan, specifically to the airport in Kabul. The British, we know they brought in 600 troops. I'm not sure about how many the French may have brought in, but they did bring special operations capabilities with them. So it's not a surprise that they can do this. Now, the question is, are they doing this quietly? Are they doing this with agreement by the Taliban? That's the question. Even if the United States had the capability, or had the Special Operations Forces capability, or even the convoy capability to go into Kabul to try to bring out Americans, to try to bring out Afghans, the question becomes, how would they get back safely into the airport? So to me, it means that you probably have to rely on some kind of a Taliban agreement to make that happen. And right now, you heard the Secretary of Defense say yesterday, we don't have that capability. I don't know, even if we did, whether we could get a guarantee from the Taliban that there would be no attacks on those convoys should they come back to the airport.
Right, and right now the mission is tens of thousands of people. I don't know if the French or the British have that kind of numbers. President Biden says that U.S. troops are going to stay now until all Americans are out of Afghanistan, even if that means staying past the August 31st deadline. So how long do you think the forces there can realistically maintain control of the airport?
They are in control of that airport. They say that it is very secure right now, that they control the perimeter. So that means that they are in charge of who is getting access to the base. Essentially, if there is a base actually at the northern part of the civilian airport, they are the ones that are in charge of the perimeter. On the other side, just outside, is where those Taliban checkpoints are. And it's in between there. That's that first buffer zone that's really the toughest spot for the people who are trying to get out. Officials, when you talk to them here, they say that we can hold security there for as long as we need. One person asked, what about fuel for the aircraft? And we were told by the spokesman here that we have enough fuel capability at that airport to keep planes running for quite a long period of time. So when the president says August 31st, it sounds like it might be a viable option for the United States military to maintain operations there, even if they need to get beyond this August 31st deadline that the president had set earlier. And let's not forget, I mean, August 31st was an arbitrary date that the president had chosen himself. Originally, it was September 11th. So I think any adjustments can be made, Terry.
Yeah, and must be made, it seems like. Our senior Pentagon reporter, Louis Martinez, thanks very much.
Thanks, Terry.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.